friends get together so that they can try things. You're invited to this podcast so that they can try things. Nick and Marcus doing a podcast so that they can try this.
Hello and welcome to Now Try This, a podcast where I normally have a co-host, I swear. Him and I come together to review things. Oh my God, look at this reveal. Oh, wow.
Welcome to the Moulin Rouge. Hello, faithful listeners of Now Try This Cast. You have entered the sacrosanct, the debaucherous, the love-filled Moulin Rouge tonight.
Oh, man. Honestly, Nick, one of your better accents.
Oh, you are ready for a night of debauchery at the Moulin Rouge, sir?
Yeah. Anyone who's ever been to France will be incredibly offended. But, you know, it's your best one. I'll say that.
Wonderful. Marcus, are you ready to enter the Moulin Rouge tonight?
Yes, I am ready. Let's go.
Who are we and what are we entering? What is the show?
It's too distracting. The look, the sound.
Am I pretty?
You're gorgeous. Where'd you get your makeup done?
Alexi.
She did it for you?
Yeah.
Nick, you're Nick. Did you know that?
I am Nick.
I'm
Nick.
Marcus.
Good job. Wow, killing it. 2 for 2.
And we are two best friends who come together every week to talk about their favorite things. One person gives the other person one of their favorite things to try, and we get together and talk about our experiences, why we love it, why the person who watched it might have hated it, and that's it. Boom.
Ho, ho, ho!
I did
What
it.
a wonderful intro from my friend Marcus, who has just entered the Moulin Rouge for the first time. Try to keep your hands to yourself, sir. Ho, ho, ho.
I hate this accent so much, but I said I hate this accent so much, but I love it. I'm just impressed.
Mark, guys, welcome to Now Try This Cast. Last week, we did a wonderful episode. Well, it was a good episode. I hated the show. We did Twin Peaks. Make sure to go check it out.
Yes.
This week was my challenge. I gave Moulin Rouge. But before we get into that, guys, if you have comments on the way I'm dressed, if you have comments on how silky Marcus's voice sounds, if you have comments about our show, please get at us at Now Try This Cast, where everywhere you can get at people. You can leave us 5-star reviews on Apple. 5 stars, we read them on the podcast. And also, very special, we have our own little Moulin Rouge, our own little safe haven over at patreon.com/Now Try This Cast, where you guys can influence our tries. And Marcus, I feel like that Patreon is doing something next month. Did it do the thing?
Oh,
you want to talk about that?
Yes. So next month, guys, we are doing is it next week? It's next week.
Next week.
Oh my God. Next week, we are doing a fan challenge from Patreon. On Patreon, we have 2 tiers, $5 and $1. For $5, you can submit a challenge that is then voted on at the end of the month. Or for $1, you can participate in voting and picking the challenges we do in the future. This next week, we are going to be watching a movie that I don't want to watch.
Save it for the back seat. Save it for the rafters.
Save it for after?
No, say it for the rafters. Say it loud and proud.
Yeah, a movie I really didn't watch, a movie I didn't want to be a part of. I wanted nothing to do. I wanted any other movie to win. P.S. I love you.
Ooh, P.S. Yeah. I love you. Oh my God. Can I be honest? Be honest?
Yeah.
I'm also not excited to watch this film. I watched this film 10 years ago, 15 years ago. I did not like it, but maybe time has changed things. Maybe one of us will like it, or maybe we'll both hate it. Those are the options.
Yeah. I feel like, I'm going to also say that, like, I don't want to offend anybody who's loved P.S. I Love You, but
which is a lot of people.
It looks like trash, but I'm excited to watch it.
Maybe the tour de force that is Gerard Butler will overtake our hearts. Maybe Hilary Swank's Je la Vie will implant itself in our hearts, bloom and blossom, just like a rose at the Moulin Rouge. Or maybe we're going to hate the movie.
Or maybe we just end up hating the movie.
But either way, guys, that's what we're doing this month. If you want to influence what we do next month, again, go ahead, sign up. Patreon.com/Now Try This Cast. We will do anything that wins the vote. We have proved that by doing awful films, controversial picks. We will do anything, but you just gotta pay. Wow. So Marcus, before we get on to the tour de force that is Moulin Rouge, why don't you tell me what you been doing this week? How are you, buddy?
Oh man, this is gonna feel like another plug, but this week I've been working on a lot of Twitch things because, as everyone who may or may not know, we live stream on Twitch every Thursday at 8. That's where we do the podcast just fucking live and raw.
That's
And we made
8
it-
p.m. Eastern Standard Time on twitch.tv/now try this cast.
And we made it to Twitch affiliate status, which means you can now subscribe to our podcast on Twitch.
Oh, surely that must be a very difficult thing to do, Marcus.
Oh no, Nick, it is one of the most easiest things you could possibly do for yourself. And you know what?
What?
It helps us out a whole lot. And you know,
You know what?
what? You know
I'm
something
gonna
else?
subscribe.
Nick,
I'm
you know
subscribed
something
right
else? Hold on, Nick.
What's the other thing? What?
It's free.
Absolutely not. That's
It's
crazy.
free. If you have a Prime subscription, you can go on Twitch and subscribe to us for free, and it helps us out a lot. We get a little bit of money along the way, and then we can afford to keep doing the podcast, upgrade the podcast, buy costumes for the podcast. Oh my God. We got a
Oh my
subscriber.
God, guys. We got our first gift sub
you
in the chat.
gift subbed. Wow. Nick,
By
what
Nick
is that? I don't
Dactiavis.
know. Tell me.
Oh, well, guys, if you are feeling so generous after you've subscribed yourself, you can gift other people subs as well, just like I just did to Dash9442, our biggest fan that I say. She is now subscribed to the podcast. Honestly, it's random who it gets gift to, and the fact that it went to her, who is our moderator, that should be subscribed in and of herself.
Yeah, she should be subscribed already.
We're gonna need to have a talk.
That's awesome. So yes, we can gift subs. There's so many fun things to do. So if you decide to join us live, you might as well subscribe.
We have a little bittering war of who's our number one fan in the chat. Guys, if you want to prove that you're our biggest fan, go ahead and gift those subs in the chat. Whoever comes out on top will be the winner of the day.
Mhm.
Marcus, that's really cool that we are streaming all the time, but surely we must only be streaming the podcast.
Oh no, Nick. Oh my God, we are streaming
What?
more than the podcast. We're streaming Pokemon. We're going to shoot
What?
for every other Wednesday right now. We're playing Pokemon Radical Red and doing a Nuzlocke challenge.
Oh my God. Well, the great thing is if you subscribe, you get to see all those videos. But Marcus, I have nothing else to say. I think there was supposed to be something else to say,
Oh.
but I didn't actually have anything. I
Oh,
apologize.
on the Twitch thing, I went to Fiverr and I got some exclusive subscriber emotes, and they will be there eventually.
Oh, I was about to check right now. I was like, do I have an email?
It was supposed to be today, but we'll see. It might hopefully it'll be this week or ready for a Pokemon. Whatever.
Fiverr.
I know.
Well, guys, if you want to join the community one more time, that's twitch.tv/now try this cast. You can go ahead and check all of our past streams there from the last 2 weeks. And also you can check us out Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Marcus.
Yes, that's me.
Is that all you've been doing? Work? That's it. That's all that's going on. in your life?
Also, my brother and his girlfriend are visiting this week, so we've been
Cool.
hanging out a lot. What have we been doing? It just feels weirdly like busy. We baked bread. I baked bread for the first time with my brother, and
Oh
by
my God.
I did absolutely nothing to help him with the bread, but I did help him with mac and cheese. So together we made the mac and cheese.
How apropos. Just like you grew up making a mac and cheese as you were younger. How
Totally,
things never
yeah.
stop.
Oh
Things
yeah,
never
always
stop.
me. From birth, I came with a plate of mac and cheese ready for my mother. Mother,
Just like
you've worked
every
very
older
hard.
brother. But I have it from here. Here's some mac and cheese for your baby.
Yes.
Marcus,
Are
what
you
are
ready?
we doing today?
Oh,
What
man.
are we doing today?
Nick, this week we're doing Moulin Rouge.
Oh my God,
And
how the hell?
you gave it to me.
Oh my God, I did.
Yeah, and I kind of hate you for this. But Nick,
Ooh,
I
nice.
can't talk about this because I don't know how much to say about it. So I want you to tell the story of, because we both know there's a story. I want you to tell a story about how we ended up here in Moulin Rouge world, and also why you gave me Moulin Rouge as a challenge.
Over 4 years ago, I was lucky enough to live in an apartment building with my best friend Marcus and a new friend, Zachary. In said apartment, one day I was getting advice. Some would say girl advice. Some would say life advice. Some might say sex advice. The point is I was getting advice. So Nicholas, young whippersnapper of Nicholas, hit a little bit of a dry spell when it came to courting of said females up to that point, and everyone in the house felt super, super bad for him. And Nicholas was said, no, don't worry about me. I'm gonna get mine when I can get it. Do not fret of poor old Nicholas. And I said,
wow, Nick, this is the most like uncomfortable you've been telling a story on the podcast. It's so weird to see you like this. It's very funny. And I love it. So then in that same day of conversation, somehow it came up that I love the said film Moulin Rouge. And you and Zach scoffed at me. And you said, we will never watch said film. We will never watch this filth. And then I said, someday you will. And then I do not remember who, but somebody said, well, when you have sex, we will watch this film. And wow.
that was over 4 years ago.
Oh, guys.
But today, on this day,
are you ready?
Of the April of 2021, I have finally became in a situation where I have been blessed to make my friend watch Moulin Rouge because 1, the podcast is here and I have to give you a challenge, and 2, my proverbial New York City cherry has been broken.
It's beautiful.
And that's why it has been so long since we've done this on the podcast. It's why it's been so. I am a man now. Thank you so much, Rianne. You are our #1 fan again. I appreciate that. And that is why we're doing it today. That's why Marcus has to watch it. That's why Marcus is so excited to finally get to watch this film. Because honestly, Marcus, thank you. I appreciate the congrats. Thank you so much, guys. Honestly,
congrats on the sex. Good job.
Honestly, we out here. We're out here. Honestly, we are out here. And honestly, Marcus, I feel like at some point through any incarnation of any of your girlfriends up till now, you would have watched this film.
Yeah.
People like this film. And I think it would have came up, but I feel as if the sanctity of this pledge, of this bet, has stayed fast, and that's why you haven't watched it. Is that right?
Let me explain, Nick, because I also have a story. Many 4.5 years ago, Nick and I lived together with our other roommate, Zach, and he was having a hard time getting laid. And so he really wanted to watch Moulin Rouge. And so in an attempt to kick him while he was down, both Zach and I said, hey, we're not going to watch that fucking lame-ass movie unless you get some puss. And then you did now. And that is why we're watching Moulin Rouge. But it's affected me for those 4 years. Because when I originally said it, I was like, yeah, I don't care about Moulin Rouge. Whatever. I'll watch it whenever. And then it meant so much to you that like you also brought it up a few times that like, yeah, this is going to motivate me. And I was like, and I just remember being like, okay, I don't care. I'm never going to think about this movie again. But since then, I've been in like 4 relationships, and every single one of them has been like Moulin Rouge, Moulin Rouge, Moulin Rouge, Moulin Rouge. And I'm like, I can't watch Moulin Rouge because my friend Nick, who you know, needs to get laid before I can watch it. Nick. And they always are like, he'll never know. It's fine. We could just watch it. He won't know. And I'm like, no, never, ever would I betray my friend Nick's trust like that. I'm a man of my word.
Exes of the past.
Exactly. It's, you know what? I think it was gonna align. Me watching this movie and me meeting the right person. It was just gonna align perfectly.
Really? I was waiting to have sex until you were in the right relationship to watch this movie. That's what I was doing. So you're welcome. I never tried to coerce you into watching Moulin Rouge, is what Dash 9442 said in the chat. She hasn't. And honestly, that is very funny.
Okay, so Nick, you gave me this movie. Why do you like this movie? Why did you give it to me?
Oh,
what was going on in your head?
Moulin Rouge,
when you watched it? Tell me about watching the movie and its impact on your life, other than the sex thing.
For 2001, this movie came out. That was 20 years ago. I was 10. I was in middle school. I watched this movie in middle school. This movie, I don't know if it was just, I don't know if it was just somebody brought home the DVD one day. No. I remember. It was in high school. I saw this film.
I can tell you the story. You ready? Here's how when you saw the movie. Sure. You were in high school and you went to a girl's house, right? And then she pulled out the VHS
No.
Or
Almost,
the
almost,
DVD.
almost.
Okay, I was close. I
Almost,
was like,
almost.
this is
You're
hold
almost,
on. This is
almost.
how good of a friend I am. Okay, I was so
No.
close.
You were right. You're right. There were girls. I didn't have like a crush or anything like that. I was
Okay.
I was with two girls that were in the musicals with me, and we had a musical night, and
Mm.
everyone brought a movie musical. And one of them brought this film. One of them brought Cabaret. That's also the same night I saw Cabaret.
Ah,
Marcus, this film is the film that gives musical theater kids like me permission to be as whacked out and crazy as this film is. So
Mhm.
this movie just is firing on all cylinders. It is deeply emotional. The music's great. And also, it was just so formative. Like, for example, I'm gonna read out almost all of these comments, but earlier today on Facebook, I posted that we were doing aforementioned Moulin Rouge.
Yeah.
And like a dozen people commented, and there was a clear delineation of people that did do musical theater
Yeah.
and did not do musical theater.
Oh, really?
For example, one musical theater said kind of overrated, but I also haven't seen it in years. I miss John Leguizamo doing everything. And then somebody that is musical theater, this is what they wrote. The movie changed my entire life. I had never seen anything as wild and crazy on a screen. It has been my favorite movie ever since. Nothing that followed has ever come close. Also, I absolutely fell in love with both Nicole Kidman and Ewan McGregor in this movie. Their chemistry is truly the entire movie. The movie's progression is also just, you start with the overture from the conductor is just going nuts, and you already get this is on my Facebook post. Somebody just wrote all this.
That's
You already get a sense.
amazing.
Then we get Nature Boy in the super dark, dramatic, somber atmosphere, and you are told how the movie is going to end, and what a wild, crazy roller coaster ride through Paris and the Moulin Rouge, and you are completely overwhelmed, and your head is spinning with him, and it feels like you're going drunk high as you're watching. I could talk about this movie all day.
Who wrote that review?
My friend Yara, she's a musical theater person.
Wow, that is a very passionate review. Thank you for submitting
Marcus,
that.
I have 3 or 4 reviews that are just as passionate on the post that I did today.
Oh man, Nick, it's so funny to me because I feel like this is a really weird offbeat movie. But I looked up reviews because I was like, okay, I know Nick likes this, but I want to see like if it was a like well received thing at the time. Did people at the time writing reviews like it or did they hate it? And man, every single one of them was passionate. Like they all were just like, I fucking stand by this movie. It is genius. And
this movie
that's
was
impressive.
a lightning in a bottle moment. It's one of those like I get it's dated. I get it's tropey. I get that there are things about it, and we'll talk about all of them that maybe don't work anymore. But you have to try to put yourself in the mindset of 2001, and this thing was different. Like he did something different. They weren't doing this kind of thing. Now there's jukebox movie musicals about everything all the time, but like this was just like a return to form. And at the time in the advertising, they didn't say it was a musical. No one knew it was a musical until they got there, and then they heard all the songs.
That's interesting.
And then nobody to use all pop modern music in the way that it did, it just captivated the world. Fox was nervous, but Baz Luhrmann, who is, we will talk about this guy. The guy's a fucking artist. He's like a fucking like, maybe not David Lynch level, but he's another one of those like, I am making art.
Yeah.
As he made this movie. But Marcus, gosh, there's so much to talk about. I don't even know where to start. I just want me to walk through it because honestly,
let's just talk through it.
Because the thing is, because I know this. I want to know this because I know when I was watching with Lexi, it was Lexi's first time watching it, and she had such a visceral "what is this movie?" as it started, because it does not hold your hand. It does not go at a pace and ramp up. It is going almost immediately to get you ready. What did you think as we opened up on the Moulin Rouge with the conductor conducting the 20th Century Fox intro?
That was pretty fun.
That was fun.
I thought it was funny. And immediately it sets the tone for the rest of the movie. It's like, this is going to be a silly, zany movie. A lot of times during the film, there were like wacky sound effects, which I found off-putting, but it made sense for what they were going for. It was it's a zanier movie than I expected it to be. Felt like I was watching a Looney Tunes cartoon a lot of the time.
My favorite part of the whole entire movie is when they're pitching the show to the Duke, and Zidler goes, "Spectacular, spectacular." The words are spectacular. And he's making the sound effect as he's going. Yeah. My favorite part of the movie.
That's a pretty good part. But yeah, there's a lot of like that's my Foley work, guys. If you're looking for a sound effects guy, hire me.
No, but when you said Looney Tunes, I think you hit it right in the mark. Most things don't do that except Looney Tunes, except those crazy cartoons. They're like, mwah, mwah. Like that's in the movie, you know?
100%. It's not like, I don't know. It's not that the movie takes itself seriously at all. I think what makes the movie work is that it knows what it is. It's like, we're going to be zany, we're going to be kooky, we're going to be out there, and then we're going to try to make this like touching story.
The official category of this film, just because I feel like we're going to need to say it a lot when talking about it, is postmodern. It's a postmodern film. Other postmodern films are like Fight Club is considered a postmodern film, Taxi Driver, Monty Python and the Holy Grail, The Big Lebowski, Mulholland Drive, Donnie Darko, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. These movies that it's like it's taking. I'll actually just read the fucking what it is, because it's
a better description.
It's subvert the mainstream conventions of narrative structure and characterization and test the audience's suspension of disbelief.
Okay.
So this movie is totally doing that, as well as all those other movies.
Yeah. Yeah, David Lynch. That sounds very much like.
Yeah. He goes like a little farther.
Oh, does he? Twin Peaks is not that much more wild than this thing that I saw. Okay.
Yeah, yes and no. I don't know. I feel like we could have a whole conversation of which is more postmodern.
And that's what we're doing. Okay, yeah. So there's a lot of whippy sound effects, and without the intro initially, I would have thought that maybe it was ramping up towards silly, and I don't want a ramp up to silly. Whenever I'm watching a movie, if it's gonna be silly, if it's gonna be kooky, it's gonna be zany, just like throw me into the deep end. I want to start off with silly, and I think that having the conductor scene in the beginning was a good way of doing that. It was like, this movie's going to be a little silly, and here's what you should expect more of.
But then also right after that, you get Nature Boy. There was a boy, all somber and dark, sang by John Leguizamo with these dark images of the Moulin Rouge. So I'm sure you're like, wait, what's this movie?
Yeah,
because it's like such an artsy way of opening it, right? It's such like a different way.
It is an interesting way of opening it. I feel like this movie is what I guess I didn't hate Cabaret, but this movie definitely feels like Cabaret-esque. It feels
totally inspired by Cabaret, 100%.
A little bit like Chicago. It's funny because before this, I was talking to Lexi, and she said that she thought this was Chicago when you guys watched it together. And I get it, because a lot of sort of like the advertising is the same. It kind of could look similar if you're not like really paying attention and just basing it off of like ads and stuff.
The aesthetic of it.
The aesthetic, yeah. It feels aesthetically like those shows.
Yeah, I totally agree. You can totally see the Cabaret influences. But then this is what I love about the movie, right? So you get like this upbeat, weird, silly intro, and then you get this dark and dreary, like setting you up in this like melodramatic and then you get the super sad Ewan McGregor at a typewriter. The woman I love is dead.
It is 100% melodramatic and
then
silly.
He starts telling the story, and it immediately ramps back up into like full blown silly when he's like, and then an Argentinian man fell through my roof, and then there was this, and then there was this, and then there was this, and then before I knew it, I was upstairs and we were rehearsing for a play. And,
it ramps up like levels all over the place. I mean, the energy levels are wild. Some moments you're like sitting in for a quiet like conversation, and then you're like zooming around the theater with other characters. Like it is wild. It feels like, it's funny that John Leguizamo is in this movie, because I feel like the movie's kind of like The Pest, or like it has similar pacing to a lot of early 2000s like kooky comedies. You know,
totally. That's probably why he was cast. Baz Luhrmann directed Romeo and Juliet before this, and John Leguizamo was also in that. But Marcus, I have a question for you. How would you describe John Leguizamo, like if to a person that didn't know anything about him? Like, what would you say about John Leguizamo?
He
just like his byline. No, his like byline. Like what? Why is he important?
Hispanic comic and actor.
Sure. I would say he's like one of the most famous Puerto Rican actors, right? Right?
I don't know about Puerto Rican, but isn't he Hispanic? He's Hispanic of some kind.
He's Puerto Rican.
That's it. Yeah. I agree.
Lexi is also Puerto Rican, and she didn't know who he was. And that was wild to me growing up in the city, because isn't Johnny L your like guy, New York Puerto Rican guy?
I feel like you know what? If you told me you didn't know who John Leguizamo was,
is he supposed to be like the one that got out? Like, isn't he's like the one that made it? He got out of the hood?
The neighborhood. No, that's Jenny from the Block, Nick. There's a whole song about it. Okay,
that's a good point. But he's I don't know. It just astounded me that
Yeah.
that was the case. Marcus, so
Yeah.
where are you at? Where are you at with this film? What's going on? What's going on?
No,
through your
so,
head?
so the whole thing, I don't know. It's just kind of, it's all over the place, and it's hard
It
to
is.
follow narratively. I could totally see
Oh,
someone
exactly.
watching this
breaking
movie.
those conventions.
I could see someone watching this movie completely glazed over and not consuming anything. You know what I mean? And then I could
Yeah.
see someone else, and then them watching it again maybe later, and then getting it or hitting them. It's one of those movies that, depending on your personality, you're either gonna eat it up immediately, or maybe it might need another like rewatch or two.
Totally. I mean, because there's so much awe and glam and glitz and like a spectacle. That's the word I'm thinking.
Yeah, there's a
so
lot
much
of spectacle
to it.
and jump cuts, and this, I think the pacing of it also is kind of like, it's quick.
Yeah, this movie in 2001 was like up to that point the most cuts in a movie ever. Like
Really?
like it held that record. I'm sure it doesn't hold that record anymore, but when
Yeah,
it came
for
out,
sure
it
not.
definitely did. It
Yeah.
definitely did, and you can see why. I mean, the cuts are like monstrous. It's so
Yeah.
crazy because if you really watch, the cuts aren't good, right? Like they're
bad
aren't
cuts.
trying. They're not
Yeah.
trying, but they're not trying to. Like you see
Yeah.
it once or twice, and you're like, oh, that's bad. But then you see it all over the place, like, oh, they don't care. They don't care about that.
Or
They're
maybe
like,
it was
I
a
want to get to
narrative
this pretty
choice.
shot. And it is. It totally
Yeah.
is. They want to get to this pretty shot, to this pretty shot, to this moment,
Mhm.
and they don't care if fucking Ewan McGregor's arms line up to this point, to this point.
Well, it's funny
Um,
because there's a lot of things like that if you look carefully could be construed as a mistake, and I get that. But a lot of the movies I like a lot of weird stuff. I like a lot of strange out there stuff, and I'm used to that. So that didn't really bother me, but it shocked me that this movie was so popular and so well received.
Yeah,
even though it
right.
had all of that in it.
It's a really like avant-garde, like weird, kooky, zany, postmodern-y movie. It's like not a conventional movie, and it got
No.
super popular. People loved
Yeah.
it. It got the soundtrack was on the Billboard 100. It hit number 1 because of Lady Marmalade. It's on like tons of people's like 100 greatest films of all time, must watch 500 films of ever. It's on almost all of those lists. It is a well-received movie. It made a lot of money. Like it made Baz Luhrmann not a household name, but he like could write his own ticket. Like he
Yeah.
was a respected director after this, you know?
Yeah.
And it's a weird movie.
Yeah, no, it's very, very weird. And the characters, Nick, there are so many characters in this movie. I could not tell you. I know Satine is the main one.
That is played by Nicole Kidman, yeah.
Then there's Obi-Wan Kenobi.
That's
which is
Christian
why
McGregor.
I'm wearing my Star Wars shirt.
We
Just gotta
both
rep.
dress up in equal amount today.
Yeah, 100%. We both put in the same amount of time and
Yeah.
effort. Okay.
Mhm.
And beauty. I wear the same amount of makeup every time I'm on screen.
Marcus, what did you let's just because you're talking about characters, let's go one by one. Did you know Obi-Wan Kenobi could sing like this?
I didn't. Is that his real voice?
Yes.
Wow.
That's
That's fucked
everyone's
up.
real voice.
They weren't using him well enough in Star Wars then.
Star Wars should be musical, 100%.
100%. Yeah, for sure. Oh, Star Wars would be epic as a musical. I'd run to see that immediately.
Timeline wise, this is when he was filming the prequels.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he was very, he was doing important things filming the Star Wars prequel. And then on his free time, like he probably shot this in like an afternoon, you think, right?
No, this was like a very tumultuous like filming process. Like Nicole Kidman like hurt herself twice.
Oh my God.
They just finished filming within like the day of, ironically enough, Star Wars needed their same lot. So like the day they wrapped, they like tore down and demolished the sets because they needed to make room for Star Wars. Like,
And they
it
just
was
kept Ewan McGregor there.
Yeah, the guys couldn't leave.
It's like, I don't know. I stay here.
Do you
That's
like
funny.
Ewan McGregor?
I like him a lot. I mean,
Would you say you know a lot
Oh,
about
no.
Ewan McGregor?
Oh no, I don't know anything about him. I've never seen him before. I never heard of the man.
Interesting, because that's not going to be helpful for the game today. Marcus,
Wow.
today's game is hair, no hair, Ewan McGregor. Roll the clip.
Now try this trivia. Now try this trivia. Now trivia. Now trivia. Now trivia this.
Hey, we're back.
Marcus, why don't you tell everyone the rules of hair, no hair, Ewan McGregor, one of our most famous, most
Oh my
popular
God.
games here on Now Try This Cast.
I think last time we did Hair No Hair was with Bruce Willis on the episode of Die Hard. Guys, go out there.
No, sir. My last time we did it was with Anne Hathaway on our Princess Diaries episode.
Oh, yeah. I should have known that. Darren just listened to that recently and told me how great it was. So everyone should go listen to
your ex-girlfriend be on the podcast.
Oh, yeah. That was awkward. Okay,
honestly, kind of funny. So I have here the top 10 grossing films of Ewan McGregor. You have to guess them, starting at 10, going all the way to number 1. And then for a bonus point for every number, you have to tell me whether or not Ewan McGregor had hair. Now, Ewan McGregor always has hair.
Yeah.
But what he doesn't always have is facial hair.
Oh,
so the hair, no hair is on his face.
What if he has both?
What? No, we're just talking about the face.
Okay.
He has hair on his head for almost everything.
I mean, what if he has both hair on his face and then not hair on his face, or vice versa? Then what does it count as?
If he has any kind of beard, mustache, any kind of accoutrement on his lips.
Okay, got it. Cool. I wanted to list specifics.
Marcus, what do you? Just to give you a little morsel, I will just tell you number 12 on Ewan McGregor's grossing 123 million was Big Fish. And also, by the way, he did not have facial hair in that movie. Then, number 11, grossing $163 million, was Ewan McGregor with Scarlett Johansson in 2005's The Island. Love that film.
Wow.
Again, he had no facial hair. Marcus, what do you think number 10
oh my God.
And you know what? You have the chat for one of these, and you can phone a friend if you want to as well.
Wow.
You can do that.
Phone a friend. Interesting.
Moulin Rouge has made me generous, sir.
Wow, thank you.
Maybe it's because I've gotten laid. Maybe it's because we've gotten to watch my favorite film. I don't know, but I am feeling generous. What is number 10?
What is the number 10 highest grossing Ewan McGregor film? How do you say
Ewan
McGregor?
Ewan?
It's Ewan.
My man, E-Money?
I guess so. Okay, are you ready?
I was
talking to my Nick. I was talking to my fucking brain. Okay, please chill out.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
I'll get out. Just finish your conversation. Finish it out loud, though.
Thank you. Are you ready, brain? Yes. Good. The number 10th movie is the train one. What is he? Train Spotting? Was he in that one?
The train one. Train Spotting is number 16 and only grossed 72 million.
Damn.
Marcus, I will tell you, I'll give you one more other shot at it. It made 173 million.
Million? God, Nick, I know like 4 movies with this guy, and 3 of them
came
are
out
Star
in 2001. It was a war movie. I don't even think you can get it if I told you all that. Ridley Scott directed it.
Okay, Behind Enemy Gates.
That's a good guess. Black Hawk Down.
Black
Hawk Down.
I didn't know he was in that. I watched that in school
until I saw this list.
Yeah,
but he's second billing after Josh Hartnett.
Huh?
Who knew? All right, Marcus. Number 9. It grossed $179 million.
Number 9.
Worldwide.
So
Number 9.
Trainspotting was 16. So that eliminates one of the few movies I knew with him. Let's see. The Island
was 11.
Is he in rom-coms? He must be, right? Are there rom-coms with him in it? I'm blanking. Okay.
I will say historically, you've never done great at this game.
But
it is my favorite game.
Oh,
I'm sorry. For the bonus point, did Ewan McGregor have hair in Black Hawk Down?
Yeah, we forgot to do the game. I'm gonna say that he does not have hair. He's shaved little baby face.
You are right, because he's in the army.
Yeah.
Nice. You got a point. You got that point.
Okay.
All right, number 9, 179 million.
79 million. Can I look up a list of Ewan McGregor movies?
No.
Oh, damn it.
Good.
Okay.
Thank you for asking.
Is there... Okay. God, I'm just on Star Wars. Is it... Okay, hold on. Star Wars Episode 2.
Number 9 on this list is Moulin Rouge, the 2001 Tour de
That's one of the movies I know with him in it. Come on.
Directed by Baz Luhrmann. I am so sorry.
Oh my God. I'm down to 3 movies I know.
Here's an easy point. Does he have hair in that movie on his face?
He does. Towards in the middle of it, he has facial hair. That's why I was asking if it counts both or yes or no.
Wow. You know what? I was thinking about him not having hair, but you are right. He does have hair halfway through that film. You know what? You got a point. That's 2 points, buddy.
Yeah.
Number 8. Just beat Moulin Rouge by 1 million. It's 180 million. Directed by J.A. Bayona in 2012. What film was Ewan McGregor in?
Wait, you said they're directed by
J.A. Bayona. Like, that's
I don't know what that movie is, Nick.
I'll give you one more clue.
Okay, give me another clue.
This was Tom Holland's first film.
He was a baby.
Little young baby Spider-Man.
Little young baby Spider-Man.
2012. Oh my God.
2012. What's the genre?
Drama, history, thriller. According to
Okay.
IMDb.
I think the title of the movie is I've got the power of time travel, so I traveled back to the past to kill Hitler, and it went wrong. Is that?
Oh my God, Marcus, you were so close because the name of this film is The Impossible.
Oh wow! I was feeling it from the universe. I was feeling it was impossible. Okay.
Almost exactly the same with Naomi Watts. All right, Marcus, number 7 made a little more. That's 198 million. It came out in 2018 and is directed by Mark Forster.
Mark Forster?
Forster.
It's not.
I'll give you
Star
one more
Wars.
hint. I'll give you one more hint. Haley Atwell was his co-star. However, most of his co-stars weren't really. Oh, I'm sorry. Did he have hair in The Impossible, Marcus? I forget to ask because you haven't seen the movies.
Oh my God. Hair in the what?
The Impossible, the last film.
I'm going to say that he did not have hair.
You're right. He's a clean-shaven baby face.
Nice.
But Marcus, number 7, 198 million. Haley Atwell was his co-star along with Not People co-stars. What does that mean?
Who is
What?
Haley Atwell?
What? Agent Carter?
Oh, okay. His co-stars were not people. Oh, is it like an animal movie? Like Dr. Dolittle 5?
Haley Atwell was a person, but the other people were not.
Okay. It's a movie with talking animals?
Kind of.
I vaguely remember this, and I can't name it.
You're gonna
So-
be mad because it's
'Cause
very
I can't
specific.
name it?
No, it's very specific. It's not just random thing, baby.
Oh, the chat knows? Oh, yeah, I can ask the chat. Thank you.
Come
Thank
to the
you.
chat. The chat
Thank
knows.
you. Thank you, Darren.
Are you using your
Thank you for
lifeline?
saving me. I'm using my lifeline. Ask the chat.
All right. Hashtag lifeline.
Guys,
Chat.
help me out.
If I had known you were going to use your lifeline, I wouldn't give you so many clues. But number 7,
I needed it.
grossing 198 million.
Oh, the chat says Christopher Robin, and I'm going to go with Christopher Robin.
Christopher Robin is
Wow.
correct.
I did see
He
that movie, and I enjoyed it.
I actually liked it too. It didn't get
Yeah.
good reviews, but I thought it was like heartwarming. It was an
Mhm.
adult Christopher Robin who thought he didn't need Pooh and his friends anymore, and he learned that he did.
Oh, you always need poo. That's the lesson. to
You
take away
always
from the
need
movie.
Pooh. But here's the real question, the important question: did Ewan McGregor have hair in this movie?
He did not have facial hair.
That is correct, Marcus. That is
Oh.
5 points for you.
I'm killing what the title of the game is. That portion of it. That's what I'm doing best in. So
Number
Just
6
say.
tied Christopher Robin with 198 million,
okay.
and it came out in 2013. It was directed by Bryan Singer. 2013.
He's done the X-Men and many unheard of things to people in the industry. Bryan Singer. What he directed like a couple of very bad.
By the way, do you like my
non-X-Men
mascara?
movies.
I really think it makes my eyes pop.
I think it's good. I think
Very
it's
pretty.
good. I'm gonna
Very
go.
solid.
What's that movie? Jumper? Was he in Jumper? Why is that coming to my
It's
mind?
not Jumper. That's way earlier.
Oh,
I'll give you
no.
one more chance.
2013.
Yes.
Oh man.
Nicholas
Jumper?
Hoult also stars in this film.
Bryan Singer, Nicholas Hoult, and it's not. I'm gonna say X-Men First Class.
You probably did not see this film. It is called Jack the Giant Slayer.
Oh, he was in that.
He was.
Oh, you know, I know that film.
Honestly, I didn't know that. I didn't know he was in that film.
I didn't know he was in that. I
But-
would have watched it.
Here's the real question. Did Ewan McGregor have hair in this film?
I don't think he was the main character because I think I remember the main character being a boy. So I'm going to say that
the main character is the titular Jack, played by Nicholas
Yes.
Hoult. Yes.
So I'm going to say that he had facial hair.
He did. He had a little Van Buren going on.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, Marcus.
Yeah.
Marcus. We're at number 5.
Okay.
Big jump here, okay? Big jump.
Oh no,
$486 million.
that sounds like a Star Wars to me.
I will let you ask me any questions you want about these movies. 2009 is when this movie came out.
2009.
Yes.
Who is the director?
I feel like it's kind of a giveaway.
So it's George
Ron
Lucas.
Howard. Ron Howard is
Oh,
the director.
Ron Howard.
That's the last time you get director, though.
What's the plot? A long time ago in a galaxy
It
far,
starts,
far
it
away.
starts with the word Harvard.
Harvard. Does it say? Does it?
It
start
came
with
out in
the word
2009.
The movie's title starts with the word Harvard.
No, the synopsis.
Oh,
I mean, it came out in 2009.
I don't know. When did the last Star Wars? 2001, right? Was the first one, or 1999 was the first one. 2001, and then 2003 was the next one, right? So it's definitely not a Star Wars movie. And it came out what year?
2009.
And it's not Moulin Rouge. It's not Train
No.
Spotting. The only movies I know with Ian McGregor. So I'm gonna guess Ian goes to the store. Hold on, can I make a phone call? How many do I have left?
This is number 5. There's 4 above this. And you probably know 3 of them, but you got to get the order.
I'm gonna make a
So-
call.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, are you ready? I'm gonna yell.
Am I ready for you to make a call? Yes, I
I'm
am.
gonna open the door and yell to the
Oh,
3
okay.
people I have in my home. and see if they want to say what the answer is.
I was nervous about there being silence, but if Hot Tub Babes on YouTube Hot Tub Babes on YouTube can be silent in the hot tub, why can't we be? I'm pretty. I can be silent.
You can always edit it out.
Silence.
You also, there was no silence. I had the headphones on. You were talking the whole time. You got it. You're good. You're beautiful. You handled
Marcus,
it like a pro, Nick.
What is your? I quit my job. This is my professional job now. What is the answer?
Okay, I'm gonna say that they were all nervous. Everyone in this house has anxiety. So putting everyone on the spot at the same time did not go well. So
They're the only ones watching. They're the only ones watching.
Okay, I heard Trainspotting 2 and Beauty and the Beast. Maybe that's. I think that's what I heard. So
are those the only two other films that they know that Ian McGregor?
100% that weren't Star Wars.
Gotcha.
Ian McGregor, he sleeps. We sleeping on him. I feel like everyone
he's
loves
in so
him,
many movies.
but he's in more movies than we realize.
Marcus, we've seen one of his movies together
Have we really?
in the theaters.
Which one was
2019,
that?
Dr. Sleep, baby.
Oh shit, Dr. Sleep. I forgot he was in
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Why
poor
is this man
movie
so
fucking-
forgettable? He's a good
Poor-
actor.
He's not forgettable. Poor man. That Dr. Sleep grossed $72 million. Ouch.
Wow. Yikes. Okay, I'm gonna go with Beauty and the Beast.
Angels and Demons. Harvard symbologist Robert Langdon works with a
Oh my
nuclear physicist to solve a
God.
murder. He plays
Stupid.
one of the cardinals.
I didn't know he
plays
was
the
in
evil
that.
cardinal.
That movie made that much money? I know it's based on a popular book series, but the movie
Oh
was
yeah,
bad.
those movies are fucking. They're not that bad. They're not that bad. The books are great, and they're super popular. Like to everyday people. Like housewives have read Angels and Demons. You know.
Yeah.
But Marcus, none of that really matters because the real question is in the movie Angels and Demons, where Ewan McGregor plays a cardinal.
Okay.
Does he have hair?
I want to say no because of the cardinal position, and I don't know any cardinals with facial hair. So I'm gonna say no.
Oh, you nailed it. He is clean babyface for that film.
Nice.
Marcus, now we're moving up. Okay.
Moving out.
Now we're at number 4.
Okay.
$641 million. This film made. That's all I'm giving you, baby. Number 4.
600 and what?
41.
Okay. I'm gonna say that's all you're giving me?
Uh-huh.
It is. Then it's one of the Star Wars movies, and it's Star Wars. I'm gonna explain my thinking on how I organize Star Wars media. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Number 1, I feel like the nostalgia of Star Wars and how much people love the original trilogy makes the first one maybe the highest grossing one. And seeing how poorly received Jar Jar Binks was by everyone across the board, I imagine that sales would then fall for 2. But then people not wanting to miss out on the third one would mean that then a lot of people went to go see the last one after also resigning themselves to having watched the first 2. And they're like, okay, might as well watch the third one. So I'm thinking
All sound logic, sir.
the first one's going to be the most, right? And the second one is going to be the worst of them. So this is the second of the Star Wars movies.
What's the name of this film?
Star Wars Episode 2, Clone Wars. No?
That's the TV show.
Well, Star Wars Episode 2, War of the Clone Saga, the Clones Attack, the Clones Strike.
Attack of the Clones.
Attack of the Clones.
You got it.
Yes.
Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones.
Oh, man.
$641 million. You got
Big
a point
brain.
there. But Marcus,
Big brain.
Marcus,
Mhm.
who the fuck gives a shit about Star Wars, okay? Let's look at our boy Obi-Wan in Episode 2. Did my man have hair or no hair?
He had hair. He had that Obi-Wan
sure did.
beard going.
Yeah, that
baby.
fucking Obi-Wan beard. Now, Marcus,
Love it. Yeah.
this is a significant jump here. We jump for number 3, $849 million.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
What's the fourth movie? There's 4. We're in the top 4. There's 3 left. I used one of
There's
the
3
Star
left.
Wars.
Yeah,
So
did.
you're telling me there's another movie out there that's as popular as the Star Wars franchise that belongs in the top 3 highest grossing movies of Ian McGregor's
McGregor?
career? Oh
Guess
my
we're about
God.
to find out.
This is
What's
driving
number
me
3?
fucking crazy. Oh God. I don't even know. No one can name another movie that he's in. You can barely name another movie, and yet there's 3 in the top spots that aren't Star Wars.
This
oh
is
my God,
why
okay.
I wanted to play this game, because of this fact right here.
Okay.
But Marcus, what is number 3? 849 million.
Can I get any information?
We're at the last bit.
Okay. I see.
The
I
kindness
handed it
has
to
worn
you
off.
in all caps in the text in the chat, and I don't remember what "handed it to you" means, but
Oh, guys, get your sexual stuff out of the chat. Jesus Christ.
okay. Is it Beauty and the Beast? He was in that.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
Marcus, number 3 on this list is Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, with 849 million.
Okay.
Unfortunately, you do not get that point.
Okay.
But you have a chance. Does he or does he not have hair? in this film.
Okay, what is the movie again? Which Star Wars?
Star Wars Episode 3.
Okay, cool. So I was right. More than 2, the other one. I have no idea what they're talking about in the chat because no one gave me any clues. I did this all by myself. I didn't use any of my lifelines. Okay, Star Wars Episode 3, he had facial hair. He had
That
the
is
biggest
correct.
facial
He had
hair.
that Obi-Wan beard. Marcus.
Yes.
Slight jump up to $984 million, just missing that $1 billion mark. What is number 2 on Ewan McGregor's highest grossing film?
That's going to be Star Wars Episode 1, Phantom Menace.
Phantom Menace. That is correct. Star Wars Episode 1, just
Yeah.
missing $1 billion. Marcus, did Ewan McGregor have facial hair or no facial hair?
He did not have facial hair in the first one. He was a little baby.
He didn't. He did not. That's 12 points, Marcus. You've won the game. If you can get one more point, because you need 13 to win.
No, I won the game. I
Marcus-
would have kept playing.
Marcus,
Okay.
number 1 on this list, has made $1,264,000,000.
Oh my god.
Marcus, what is Ian McGregor's highest top earning film of all? Wait, hold on a second. Hold on.
We have Nick typing, trying to figure something out.
This list is out of date.
Oh no!
I apologize. Black Hawk Down should have been pushed off because less than Angels and Demons, but more than the Giant Slayer was Harley Quinn Birds of Prey.
Oh, I forgot he was in that.
Yeah, but it took so long or it was just so recently they didn't update the list. Oh, how disappointing.
Interesting.
Sorry, IMDb, you fucked up. But anyway, that does not stop the top earning film. $1.264 million. Marcus.
Yes.
What is this film?
Well, Nick, I've guessed Beauty and the Beast 42 times, and I'm going to guess it again.
Marcus.
Yeah.
Ewan McGregor's highest grossing film of his entire 55 film career is Disney's Beauty and the Beast.
Woo! A tale as old as time.
Marcus.
Yeah.
To really cement your victory,
Uh-huh.
can you tell me if Ewan McGregor had hair or had no hair in this film?
Who did he play? If I know who he plays, then maybe I could tell you.
He plays Lumiere.
He plays Lumiere. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that when he comes back
He
as
sings
a
Be Our
human,
Guest.
beards did not seem like a thing. So I'm going to say he doesn't have facial hair.
Marcus, this is kind of a trick question because when he comes back as a human, he does have facial hair. However, Candlesticks cannot have facial hair or any hair at all. So, Marcus, you get the point. 14
Nice.
points.
Yes.
You have won this episode of Hair, No Hair.
Thank you.
Colin Ewan McGregor. Good job.
Yeah.
We're all super
Let's
proud
get
of
claps in the chat, guys.
Yeah, claps in the chat for Marcus crushing that game. Now, Marcus.
Yeah.
This movie. Oh my God. What were you
Mhm.
thinking? How were you doing when Ewan McGregor goes on top of that balcony and says, "All you need is love. All you
man.
need is
Oh,
love.
man. No, thank you.
All you
No.
need is love."
Love is
Love
just
is
a
just-
game.
Come
I
on.
was made for loving you, baby. You are made
You've
for
heard that
loving
song
me.
for years. You've
Oh
known
my
that song
God.
for so much time. How was it seeing it in context? All
it
this
is-
sincerity.
Nick, I have to explain to everyone the background of my history with this specific song, just so everyone understands how Moulin Rouge has worked its way into my life way before Nick, and somehow it's just manifested into this bigger and bigger thing every time in my life. Like it wants me to be a part of the Moulin Rouge, and I've tried to resist, and now I'm in.
It's calling you.
Okay?
It's calling you.
It's calling
you. It's
So,
Moulin Rouge.
I was a weeb little boy, and I used to go online and watch anime music videos, which were, in my head, pretty popular back in the day. And I don't know if that's true or not, because
They
I have no
were,
one
they
else who can
were.
verify.
They were
Pretty popular.
Yeah.
I found this anime music video website where I would download the top rated anime music videos. And I also contributed my own anime music videos that I used to edit on Windows Movie Maker. It was
Throwback.
very cringy. And it was pretty bad. There was a Kingdom Hearts. The one I did was the Kingdom Hearts trailer for a fight scene, and then set to like, who can say when the wind blows, and like slowed down. It was
Oh my
very
goodness.
dumb and cringy, and
That's
I
so
hate
dumb.
it. But my brother and I used to watch anime music video that was synced to Elephant Love Medley of Moulin Rouge. And Matthew and I watched it over and over and over and over again. We would sing along to the whole thing. It was just like, it was cemented in our brains. We loved the song, we loved the music, and we were like, just enamored by this anime music video thing. And the song has been a part of my life so much. And it's so funny because every time it would come up, people are like, how do you know that song, but you've never seen Moulin Rouge? And I'm like, anime, baby.
Well, how did it feel seeing it? Seeing all the sincerity of
It was
Ewan McGregor and
God.
Nicole gushing with love with each other.
It's so funny because in the beginning when he starts singing, there's a sound that's just like after his first line that was also in the anime music video. And I never understood what that was or what that was from. And watching it, I still don't know what the fuck made that noise. Do you know the answer? Was it like doing something with his hands? Was
Yes,
it him
Marcus,
just
love.
whipping? Oh my
Love.
God. Oh, there were
Love.
so many zany sound effects, by the way. I just like constant sound effects, weird cuts. It was hectic. At first, I hated it, and then I was like, I get it, and I love it. But yeah, no, this is like the song, you know? Like if you don't know Moulin Rouge, you go and you just like, this is the thing that they knew was going to be a hit. This is like Frozen's Let It Go, where the music swells. Everyone knows like, this is the song you came here for. It's just so good, and so good to see it live and feel the chemistry between them. It changes the song.
I will say two things. One, there was a time in high school where I remember I was walking home and I met two random girls from Musical 2. We were just talking for a second, talking about how much we love the movie. And we sang the entire thing. I sing the guy part, they sing the girl part, outside of my high school at 8:00 p.m. in the dark with no one else around. And we went through the whole thing. How formative was that?
It is
at little 16-year-old Nick.
I would say it's Bohemian Rhapsody for musical theater nerds. Like
hell yes.
Yeah.
But also I was gonna say, rewatching this now with a critical eye, I don't think I ever appreciated, like, I don't know if I just didn't know what chemistry was, but like Ewan McGregor and Nicole Kidman, the way they're looking at each other in this scene, like
so sexual.
It looks like they're falling in love, right?
Yeah.
And it's like sexy and like sensual, but also like sincere. Like the looks on her face when she's like literally saying, I was describing it earlier, like he's saying all you need is love, and she's like, but what about the rest of the world? And he's like, yeah, but love. And she's like, yeah, but like things are hard in the world, and like this might fail. And he's like, yeah, but love. And he's like, no, but it's gonna be hard. You're gonna hate me. I'm gonna hate you. Yeah, but love. And then she's like, okay, but love. And that like back and forth, like it really sold me this time rewatching, even now as an adult.
It's a very charming song, and their chemistry is great. Like they play off of each other very well. They're both very sincere actors, and they're both like very talented at acting.
And they're prime.
It's weird to watch a movie that reminds you that acting is like a job, or that it's hard, or that like it's like you have to like, it takes a good actor to meld into the character and portray someone different on screen. You know, like no offense against The Rock, I love The Rock, but The Rock is always The Rock in every movie. You know,
sure, yeah. I think also watching this film now, I realize there's a style of acting that's out now that, I mean, it's good enough. But thank you, Rian414, for subscribing with Prime. We appreciate it. We love you, and we love everything you do. You're our #1 fan again. Thank you so much.
Dash 9442. Where's that sub? Where's that sub at?
Yeah, your time's up. Your time is up. So much acting now is just like, I feel like it just feels like standing around, right?
Yeah.
But they're like acting, but it doesn't feel like campy. It feels like real, like they're being emotional. It feels like they don't let people be emotional anymore the way they are in this movie. And everything else is so heightened that the room they have to play is wider, right? It's bigger. They have more of a breath to show emotions because of how grandiose the movie is. And it really shows, especially during the scene, but also through all of the scenes, during all their musical numbers, all their lovemaking scenes, everything.
I think how crazy and sort of kooky and silly that this movie is like that that works for musical theater. That is kind of the vibe you get of people involved in musical theater. That is,
you can only get it in musical theater, right?
You can only be really that silly and also serious in the same film. Like it's hard thing to pull off. You know, not a lot of directors can pull it off, but musical theater is something that's common.
Now, just a little aside, I just always have to remind you and everybody about how little I know and knew about music.
Oh, yes.
So your song, I didn't know that was an Elton John song for like 15 years.
Oh, no.
Fucking all the songs in Elephant Love Medley, I still don't 100% know where all of them are from. Like there's so much. And here's the thing. The only original song in here is Come What May. Everything else is pulled from somewhere else, something else, some other kind of maelstrom combination, which is so cool, by the way. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. But I didn't know where I didn't know Nirvana was in this movie till like 7-8 years later, and I was like, that's Nirvana? I heard it from Moulin Rouge.
That's hilarious.
But what do you think about a musical, a modern musical taking, like, it happens more now, but because now we've seen Glee, like Glee, Smash, all these things wouldn't exist without
Of course,
this fucking movie,
100%.
right?
Yeah. But it's funny because jukebox musicals are totally a thing now, right? Like so many people have done it. I've seen so many of them, and it's so,
and this is the
depends
first,
so much.
but
yes, it depends on so
music.
much whether or not you like the music, whether you like the person creating it. So to pull from pop music, and it's hard to pick a good repertoire of songs, but they're lucky enough where they're not limited by like one artist. I feel like a lot of jukebox musicals are surrounded around a person's work,
or a forced theme, like an era or a composer or something. You know.
So this movie kind of had the freedom to play around with the soundtrack, and they really fucking did. And I think Elephant Love Medley is like a great point of that. And they also like not even just doing a jukebox musical, right? Because like if I want to hear musical theater nerds cover popular songs, I can just watch that on YouTube any other time, right? But they had unique arrangements that just like made them fit into the motif of the film, but also just in general sort of just like are creative and interesting, and they work in a musical theater sense.
Yeah, you can tell that the story came first here, right? You can tell that they put a lot of thought into what their story is. And oddly enough, when Baz Luhrmann was making this film, he also wrote it. He based it off of the Grecian myth of Orpheus. So Christian is Orpheus traveling down to hell, the Moulin Rouge, to get Eurydice, Nicole Kidman, Satine. And then there's also some La Boheme in there, which is what Rent's based off of. Of course, La Boheme's about a girl, Mimi, dying. I forget what she's dying of in La Boheme. Is it? What is she dying for in La Boheme? It's not AIDS.
It might be like consumption also.
Consumption? I think it's consumption, which is what Satine's dying of here. And it's also based off of a whole bunch of older like Camille and these other operas and stuff. So I think that's one of the reasons you can sense that, because the story came first. You can tell they took time to craft the story and then found songs that fit and then forced them to fit. And then speaking of force them to fit, honestly, my favorite moment from the movie is not Elephant Love Medley. I love Elephant Love Medley. It's amazing. I love Come What May Later. I love the beginning. I love the end.
Yeah.
My favorite is El Tango de Roxanne.
Nice. So I like this song a lot. So back to the AMV thing, anime music video. I looked into it, right? Like obviously you're gonna look into it. So I found Moulin Rouge and I found the soundtrack and I started listening to Elephant Love Medley. I liked. But there was also the only other song I actually liked was Roxanne. So I've listened to both songs so many times without even having watched the movie at all.
Walk me through seeing it for the first time in The Thing, because it's a powerful piece, I think.
It is so incredible. I think the choreography is just beautiful. The lighting design is fantastic. I feel like a lot of times in movies, it's hard to get, I know this is sort of a lighting thing, but it's hard to get staged lighting looking correct, you know?
Steven Spielberg, you can see it in the trailer for West Side Story. Like you can tell he's not a lot of directors can do that, like really push it like it's theatrical.
Yes.
Steven Spielberg is one of them. Baz Luhrmann is another.
Yeah, it's hard to sometimes make that sort of thing pop. You know, sometimes it can end up feeling flat when you try to film performances. But yeah, it worked really well. The directing is good. The cinematography is great. Just the shot composition, just like every part of this film is very well crafted. And
the fucking Argentinian who this whole movie's been this kooky zany nobody.
Yes.
And he comes in with this robust I need to tell you what love is and jealousy. And he fucking that actor goes for it in that scene.
And it's just so perfect. Like just taking the jukebox musical concept and taking a song and be like, okay, we're gonna fix it narratively. We're gonna make it make sense. You know, the creepy way they sang Like a Virgin. I guess they didn't really sing it; they talked it. But you know, the way they spoke,
great, so funny, so great.
Like a Virgin. It worked so well.
Touched I feel like for the very first time.
It's silly and it's goofy every time it happens.
And creepy.
But with Roxanne, I feel like it felt powerful and it made the song. It made the song new and it breathed some new life into the song. You know.
And the way Ewan McGregor's character was singing his like little stanzas in between them and was like walking and saw Satine and they kept going back and forth. And the dance, right? One of the Diamond Dog the girls. I don't know if she has a name in the movie, but she's like in the background the whole time.
Yeah.
But she does this dance and then the lighting is on her eyes and she like looks to another guy and the Argentinian like grabs her. It's it's such a great dance and choreography really and scene.
Yeah, I mean it just it just was so incredible to see. I think it's also just a good song. Like, I don't know if you were familiar with Roxanne before the movie, but it's just like a really good song.
Of course I wasn't. Of course I was not. No, of course I wasn't. But now I've heard it, and I think it's missing something. I feel like it's missing tango when I hear the song.
The grit. Yeah.
But like, no, you're supposed to sing it down here like this.
Jukebox musicals are just sometimes can be so boring. And like I said earlier, it ends up being a fucking cover. You know, it's just like, I'm going to watch a bunch of people who can sing well do covers. And if I wanted to do that, like, I just could. I don't like listening to covers in general. Yeah. But the same problem I have with covers, this movie addresses, right? Like, if you're bringing something new, you're bringing something unique, you're bringing your own style to a song, then that's great. That's something that like takes artistry and talent, and it's what they do here.
Totally. And then I do want to just also mention, because there's one original song, Come What May, and I don't know, I've always loved the song. I've said, quick stupid story. I had a girlfriend in high school, also in the musical, so she also loved Moulin Rouge. Broke up with her. It's very sad. Well, she was sad, but she told me right after that she was going to ask me to sing Come What May with her in the talent show, but I had broken up with her too quickly before the talent show.
So you got back with her so that way you could perform in the talent show, and then you broke up with her after you guys won the talent show.
That would have been great. No, I performed in the talent show in 2 other things. I sang Rent and I did some acting thing, but she sang it with another guy.
Oh, drama!
But here's the thing. I didn't feel any type of way about it, but because you know why?
Because you didn't care about her?
No, they were awful. They were it was so bad. Worst rendition of the song I've ever heard in my life. But anyway, so in the movie, everything quiets down. For like the 3rd time, Satine's like, no, we can't do this. We can't do this. I can't do this. And Christian again says, we'll make up a little song. And like the way they sing it, I never noticed this before, but the way they sing, and maybe it's because when I saw it as a kid, I never had these, but now as an adult, when you're in a relationship, you do make up little saying, right? And little things you say with your significant other, like little, like you might always say okay to each other, or you might, whisper my love in a certain way, or you might be like always yours, sign off, like
build a rapport. Inside jokes.
Totally something like that. Yeah. And that's exactly what this song is. And I didn't realize that as a kid. But now I was watching it, seeing how they were like interacting about it and how he's like wooing her, but like silently alone. And then even when they were singing the song out in the world, and even in the moment of the end of the film, when it was this big moment of Come What May, it still felt like that intimacy they had made when they made up the song. And I had never noticed that before. And I just wanted to point out how much I love the song always, but how honestly now as an adult, now having been in love so many times, I appreciate it way more, which is weird for me, because usually films like this where it's like, listen, I know it's not a perfect film, it's a film from my childhood, that I'm bringing in, and I'm like, I guess, or sometimes there's some misogyny in it, and sometimes there's some sexism in it. It's an older film, and we kind of got to take the good with the bad. But for something new to resonate in an older film was really nice for me. Like that kind of stuff.
I lost your video, Nick.
You know what I mean? What'd you think?
Oh no! Oh, he's coming back. There he is. He came back. He made it back. Let's see how long it takes him to realize.
Yeah, give it a second, because everyone that had to refresh the stream is watching an ad.
Got it. Well, you know what? That's more ad revenue for us. I was going to say, on your point of misogyny and all that stuff, it's interesting that they cast little people, but the one little person with like a speaking role is played by John Leguizamo.
Not perfect. This movie is not. That's based on a real person, by the way. That's based on a real person. Toulouse.
Really?
Yeah, it's like a real painter. And throughout the film, there's different points where you can like see his art.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Fun fact.
Okay, Nick, you were going to make a point about
Come What May. Just what'd you think? That's all.
No, it was great. I'm
the only original song.
The whole thing was great. I liked it. I obviously didn't like it as much as Roxanne, I thought the performance was just incredible.
Sure.
I like Elephant Love Medley. That's number 1 to me in the whole thing. But I did like it. I feel like it was a weaker song, though, if I'm being honest. Sure. But I do get it. I do get the message behind it, and I think it's really pretty. But Nick, I have a question about this one woman in the movie who confused me so much, and I don't know if I missed something, but this random lady places herself as a villain in the film in the middle of it when the Duke is sitting and watching Satine perform. She whispers in his ear and basically reveals the whole plot of the film. Why? Where did she come from?
Why would she like the penniless writer? Oops, I mean sitar player.
Yeah, she just shows up She drops a bomb
Apparently her
and
name's Nene.
leaves.
Apparently her name's Nene. I didn't know that.
I did not get that. Did I miss something? Is that like what?
Well,
Is he
here's the
just
thing.
so
If you really
dumb?
want to make your point, later in the film, she helps them not die. Right? Like
So
she helps them
why?
like, get the
What
gun
is she
away.
doing?
Here's what I
She's
think it
just
is.
an
Here's what I think
agent
it
of
is.
chaos.
No, here's what I think it is. Marcus, you are not a stage performer. The people on that stage for a musical theater drama club, when we're doing that play, and we're all friends, right? We all go
Wow.
to the same school, but we all have bitter rivalries because that person got our part and that person did this. Think about High School Musical, right?
Yeah.
Like think about fucking Sharpay and Gabriella,
Okay.
you know, or Troy and
Mhm.
like fucking Ryan, all those shit. That's really how it is in high school. Marcus, imagine what it's like in a professional setting. I have so many people that are my friends
Mhm.
in the acting sphere that would stab me in the back the first chance they
Oh my
got.
God, Jesus. It's like sharks smelling blood in the water. I didn't know
That's
this was
exactly what
how
it is.
is.
And here's the thing. These people are also like, they're also sex workers. So there's also like another added thing on top of all of
Yeah.
it. That's just like this dichotomy thing.
competition. Yeah.
And she's the number one, right? Like she's getting the best money and the best attention. And Nini's like, I can dance better than her. She probably thinks she can sing better than her. She probably thinks she's prettier than her. She's like, why the fuck does Satine get everything?
Yeah.
That's totally why.
But it is
You know?
I assumed that was why. But
Yeah,
but,
but no,
from a filming
funny.
standpoint, it is comical
The
that
Duke-
she just sort
'cause
of
the Duke's an
appears out of
idiot.
nowhere.
Yeah,
And the Duke
yeah.
and
I
from
agree.
a writing standpoint, I think they made the Duke too stupid, and then they're like, "Fuck! How are we gonna reveal this? Oh, just someone's jealous. They show up and they're gonna be jealous and reveal it."
I totally get that. But honestly,
It's
the
funny.
Duke's character is one where his like stupidity of it all, like totally like just reinforces his like, I forget what the psychology's term, but it's like forever infantness syndrome. Like what is it? You know what I'm saying? Like he's like
Yeah.
boy child man syndrome.
Uh-huh.
Or
Man, boy,
like
child,
what-
man
I don't-
syndrome.
Yeah. He
Yeah,
has
yeah,
that
that one.
totally. Is why he's like so dumb. Like he literally takes the guy on a picnic. He takes the
that's
writer on a
true.
picnic.
I saw also like there's their whole thing where they're sneaking around in the middle of the movie. They start sneaking around, and it is just so painful to watch because he's there and he should
Yeah.
pick up all the signs, and he keeps taking her away. Like, oh, we have to work on the script. We have to go
Yeah.
work on the script. I like the part. It was kind of a nice moment when there's confliction, right? Like she's conflicted whether
Yes,
she has to go with the Duke or whether she has to go with the writer. And the writer's like, no, I guess if you have like duties that you have to do, like it's fine. And she's like, no, why would you think your work isn't important? I obviously want to spend time with you. And I thought that was kind of nice because I feel like in his position, he knows
So
where he
he's good at what
stands
she does.
and he feels the love. But like when he was angry earlier, he does know that she's like very talented at what she does, and that he maybe also doesn't want to get in the way of her work. It's really interesting. I like that.
One of my
little
favorite moments
exchange.
is later when once he's kind of caught on to the game, and he's like, they do the ending, and the Duke's like, I don't like it, and he says like, why wouldn't he love the Maharaja? The Maharaja has tried to offer her everything she's ever wanted, and then they're like starting to yell, and then the Duke's like, why? And he like yells about it, and then Christian fucks up and he says, because she doesn't love you. And everyone's like silent, and he's like, him.
Oh
because
God,
she
it was
doesn't
so
like him.
painful.
I know, right? It was very
so
real.
painful.
It was
That like
very- I lo-
obnoxious
I lo-
Freudian slip. That's
Yeah.
bad.
Fucking.
It's
and
so
then we
funny
get
because
to-
the whole
ahead.
movie has like a lot of tropes in it, right? Like you have
so many.
you have the people in the movie making a play that is about what the movie is about, and
Yep.
you've got like her coughing blood into her napkin, like foreshadowing her death. In the beginning, I forgot what is the line he
Narration.
says?
There's narration in the thing.
Oh, God.
Christian is narrating the end of the movie throughout the whole movie.
It's just so full of tropes, and if it was just like one or two, I think the movie would work less than it currently does.
Yeah,
But I think
totally.
because it leans into it, because it's like,
Yeah.
hey, we're gonna be silly, we're gonna just do all the fucking tropes that we can, we're gonna
It's
do it, and
it's saying
it's
this
great.
is a story you already know. You
Mm-hmm.
know this story, right? It's like letting you in. It's like
Yeah.
it's breaking the fourth wall in a way. It's trying to see how far it can stretch it, how far it can go. It's like
Mhm.
pushing that boundary there by being so
Yeah.
tropey. Like there's
Why was
there's
that
nothing
action so
about
sexual?
I don't know. Because you made me lose my train of thought so hard.
Sorry, I was too
because-
busy being
no, you're-
aroused.
That's fine. You know what? I have that same problem when I look in a mirror. I get it.
Thank you.
The
I get that.
whole thing is right. Christian at the beginning of the movie says she died. It says the whole movie
Mhm.
right at the top, right? That's like the biggest trope, right?
Yeah.
In the whole movie, you know she's gonna die. You know what's happening. You know it's coming. But I think because they did that, it took all of that urgency away
Mhm.
from the mystery, from you trying to anticipate the film. It's like, no. You know exactly.
There's a lot of
This movie's got me ramped up, Marcus,
sexual-
okay? This movie's got me ramped up, okay? Okay? It
Okay.
had been 4.5 years. We're finally on the other
the
side.
movie's very sexual. This whole like reason we didn't watch the movie is very sexual. I feel like subtly you're picking up these subconscious
I'm wearing makeup.
mannerisms.
I look very sexy.
There you go. You're getting turned on looking at yourself. I get it. It makes sense.
But the point I'm making is just that by taking all that away, you could focus on the emotion. You can focus on the spectacle. You can focus on the other things that it's going on. But Marcus, here we are at the end of the film, and we finally got Satine. She's about to die. We got the whole Christian is gonna pretend to be the person to go on so he can pay his whore. Oh
God, that scene was aggressive. It was
very
heartbreaking.
aggressive.
It was
Honestly, it was
heartbreaking, but
harder
it was
to watch
aggressive.
now than it was as a kid. Like, 'cause
I
the
know.
subtone of it,
Yeah.
the subtext of it is like now as an adult, I'm like very positive for sex work, and I'm very
100%. Yeah.
You shouldn't treat a woman like
Yeah.
that. You shouldn't treat
Yeah.
anybody like that. Period. Ever. At the time, as a kid, I was probably just like, "Oh no, he's really sad. I get it. Yeah." But now I'm like, "Oh no, that's kind of fucked up, dude."
Yeah,
I'm not like
no,
that
though,
on your side right now.
During the movie, I said like, I was like, she's like, oh, I'm willing to leave. I'm gonna change my life. I'm like, no, that's your fucking job. This guy doesn't have a job. You fucking have a job. Why would you quit your job? I know it's having sex with other people, but it's your fucking job. Like,
yeah, 20 years later, this film would have been a little different.
100%.
It's of the time.
Oh, for sure.
But here you are at the end. There's this beautiful moment when Satine decides to sing "Come What May."
Mhm.
Christian stops, turns around, and you get this whole big hijinks.
God, it is the silliest, most melodramatic scene I have ever seen in anything.
Because it takes itself
It
so
is
serious.
over the top.
It's so sincere about the love and the singing, and it's so silly because the guy with the bald guy with the gun is like running around, and he's like literally like pretending to be in the band to
By the way, the guy with the gun, they keep anytime they're like, he has a killer with him, a hired man, an assassin. Every time they show his face, it's the same fucking like 1-2 second clip. Like, you know, every fucking time. And the first time they repeated that clip, I was like, God, I fucking hate that. And then by the like 6th time they did it, I was in. I was like, this is hilarious.
Exactly.
This is hilarious every fucking time. Show me again, baby.
It's comedy. You just keep hitting it. You just keep
doing it. Yeah.
It was committed, right? That's the problem I have with some movies, right? Because they'll do things like that, but then it'll just like do it once or do it twice and like not stay in that tone. But this movie does not let up. It does not forget what it is the whole time through, all the way to the end. When the gun flies out the window, it hits the Eiffel Tower. And the gun's this big, and the Eiffel Tower is this big.
Yes, I was gonna say that there's a part where the Eiffel Tower is fucking small or huge. Their gun is huge. I don't know what happened, but they're about the same size. The crash. It's so funny. I feel like the absurdist humor in this movie works so well. You know, like it just like it clicks every single time, and it makes every scene just a little bit more better.
Right after that, as Satine is dying, the camera looms over as everyone's crying. It looms over as everyone's applauding and laughing, and then looms out the window to watch the Duke slowly walking away in the snow in defeat. And then it's just like also so dramatic.
It's so dramatic.
Serious.
Yeah, it does sometimes take itself seriously in a way that I like. I feel like sometimes when you're too much in on the joke, it can be off-putting. You know, like when you make a bad movie for bad movie's sake, and you're like, I'm trying to make a bad movie. Meh. I feel like sometimes you miss it and you don't get it. There's a sense of like sincerity. Also, like you do take this seriously and you do consider this a serious story that you're trying to tell that like adds to all the other things, all the silliness and all the camp that's in the movie.
Marcus, I just want you to know there's so many more things that I wanted to talk about. Like I wanted to talk about how Zidler is wearing a fat suit and that actor's been like in everything from like Game of Thrones to Harry Potter. I wanted to talk about how Nicole Kidman hurt her ankle. He hurt her ankle on this film, and some of the scenes, some of the times when you see her from the waist up, She's literally sitting in a wheelchair because she's hurt while they're filming. There's like so many little things, but we're like running
Jesus
out of
Christ.
time. So just what else did you think about this film? What else is there anything else you want to call out, point out, favorite moments?
Let's see.
When'd you laugh? When'd you cry?
I did not cry in the film, but I could see
Yeah,
myself
because you knew she was dying.
maybe crying at some point. If I'm in the right mindset, I let the movie
You're watching with
take me
people
in.
watching it for the podcast.
100%. Yeah, I'm watching it. People watching with the podcast. I'm not gonna
You're
cry
like mentally
that.
taking notes because
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what I want to talk about, what I want to remember.
Yeah.
But
it's also very Brechtian because it's breaking the fourth wall, so it is a little harder to like get
Yes.
to that crying
yeah,
thing.
but I
10-year-old me cried.
I feel like so many parts of this movie were fun and zany and over the top in a way that felt like familiar. It felt like I was watching The Mask, but a musical.
Oh yeah,
It felt
yeah,
like
yeah.
one of the pacing was similar to The Pest, or like one of those early kind of Jim Carrey, John Leguizamo, like pacing wise. And I felt like because of all of that, because of the way it felt, I was just like super into it. It just, maybe it's because I'm of the time. Like I would love to see what people who didn't grow up with media at the time and maybe are a little like born later think of this film.
Like Gen Z.
Yeah, I wonder
get a
what Gen
Zoomer,
Z
see
thinks
what
of Moulin Rouge.
I feel like it probably looped back. They understand detached irony a lot.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that they would appreciate it also, but it is just a different pacing that I'm used to, and it made me feel nostalgic. Like I was like watching a Saturday morning cartoon or something. I was just like, oh, this is like a fun, like intense story. Everything's over the top. Real people don't behave like this. It's postmodern, sort of absurdist. Like I liked it.
Were you surprised at how this movie was and that it's one of my favorites? I'm sure you're expecting something different. I'm sure you were expecting very much something like West Side Story or not West Side Story. Like what? Like I'm sure you were picturing The Notebook the musical.
Yeah. So I guess I was a little bit. I felt like it was a little bit silly of a movie. I remember watching it because when the movie started, I was like, oh, this is familiar. I know this. Maybe I watched this before. And then it made it like 5 minutes into the movie, and I was like, I don't remember any of this. So I must have at some point tried to watch the movie, made it 5 minutes in, and was like, no, thank you. Just no, thank you. But I'm glad that now I was able to like watch it with under different scope, mindset, age, and experience, and it was fun.
All right, Marcus, here are the questions.
Okay.
Did you like Moulin Rouge?
Did I like Moulin Rouge? Nick, I really liked Moulin Rouge.
Yeah!
It was fun. It was fun. Oh, I was going to say this. I lost my point, but
oh, sorry.
I was going to say that you were like, oh, what do you think of you liking it? And I feel like you like weird stuff sometimes, but you have to like be in the right mood for it. You know what I mean? So it's like a little aggravating to be like, he liked this, but he didn't like Psycho Gourmet.
It's because this is so sincere, though, right? It's probably the sincerity thing.
The other one was sincere in a different way. It was sarcastic, I guess. But I could get it. I get it. You know, it's a different kind of movie, but a similar vibe. I'm like, God damn it! I need to find the right weird movie for Nick. You weird
do.
one.
Like I like weird. I do like weird. As we were watching this, I was reminiscing how the other day you were like, "Do you like weird, Nick?" And I was like, "I think so."
Yeah.
And then I watched this. I was like, "No, this is pretty weird."
Yeah. No. This is pretty weird. I was like, okay, Nick does like weird stuff, but it's just about like the right mindset and what kind of weird thing it is. You know, I feel like you are more tolerant to maybe weird musicals or something. You know,
probably I do like Repo Man. I do like.
Repo Man was good.
I don't know if that's the word. I don't know if that's the word.
It was good.
I don't think it's good.
I'm the night surgeon.
I like it.
Oh God, come on. So good.
Guys, if you want us to watch Repo Man, the Genetic Opera on the podcast, let us know. We fucking will. Marcus, would you recommend this film?
I would recommend this film to lovers of musical theater. I don't know if I would recommend it.
And lovers of love.
And lovers of love. Sure. If you like rom-coms, if you like coms, if you like roms, any variation of those things, I would recommend this also.
Marcus, usually the third question is, would you keep watching it? We can't say that. Would you watch the sequel? Can't say that. Oh, Marcus.
Maybe.
I'll ask this. Marcus, you are a frequent goer of the Broadway. Has Moulin Rouge, the musical on Broadway, snuck up a couple notches on your list of potential things to see on the Broadway once it opens back up?
Nick, when Moulin Rouge showed up, I had the opportunity to go see, this is true, I had the opportunity to go to Broadway and go to an opening of Moulin Rouge, and I said no. I said no, thank you, because
My boy
I can't
hasn't been
watch
laid.
it, and I couldn't explain that part because I would seem crazy if someone's offering you fucking Broadway tickets for free, and it's like, hey, come see the show with me, and I'm like, nah, I'm good because my boy Nick hasn't been laid yet, and I have to wait. So I was like, I'm so sorry, I'm just so busy. It's fine, you can give it to someone else. But I want you to know that I didn't see that because of this bet that we have going. That's how dedicated I am.
Oh, Marcus, that's so sweet. You're so sweet.
So yes, I would watch the Broadway show.
Great. Well, guys, that was Moulin Rouge. We got Marcus to love a musical about love. We are warming up and breaking apart that icy,
Nope.
icy heart, that icy, icy exterior. Guys,
One more
I just
thing.
want you all... Oh,
So
please.
sorry, I have to mention this.
No, please.
Tuberculosis can, from my knowledge, can be spread. It's very contagious, and it's so scary seeing her cough and breathe all over everybody, and just with the pandemic that we're in now, just like so concerned for Ian McGregor. It was just like, oh no,
Well, it's
they're all
not
gonna
tuberculosis. It's consumption.
Sure, which is yes, sure, consumption.
No, you're totally right. You're totally right. But guys, that was Moulin Rouge. If you want to hear Marcus also pretend like he doesn't like love, but really loves it a lot, go ahead and listen to our About Time episode, or the
Yes.
Notebook episode. Guys, there's dozens. And Marcus is a big old softy, and you get to find out why. Check out those
100%.
episodes. But in the meantime, you can get us everywhere at Now Try This Cast. You can leave us 5 stars on Apple iTunes. We really appreciate it. You can check out the Twitch stream at twitch.tv/NowTryThisCast every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you can join our community at patreon.com/NowTryThisCast. And because of that community, next week, we are trying P.S. I Love You.
Jesus Christ, I am not excited. I'm glad this turned out to be better than I thought, because
I don't know. I'm
knowing
excited. I
P.S.
think it's going to be
Love You
awful.
is next. Oh man,
I think it's going to be awful.
I'm sorry. We're gonna lose that Patreon. So guys, go to the Patreon now.
Guys, we're going to lose
replace
that
them.
Patreon. We're going to lose that Patreon, and Nicholas is going to lose a girlfriend. So, guys, we need your support. Please, patreon.com/NowTryThisCast.
Great. Okay, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. You have your challenge for next week, so go out there and try some things. We'll see you guys. Good night.
And good night from the Moulin Rouge.
Two friends get together so that they can try things. You're invited to this podcast so that they can try things. Nick and Marcus doing a podcast so that they can try this.
Okay, hold on. Don't go. Don't switch yet. Don't, because I can still see you. Okay.
Okay.
So hold on. I'm gonna start recording so we can get the look at your. So Nick can see your face. It's recording. Wow. Do something fun.
Hey.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, cool. Now Nick, when Nick's editing later, he can see that and it'll cheer him up. Okay. Now I'm gonna go to the intro, and we are streaming, so I can't see you anymore. So if you want to switch with Nick, you can.